Hello friends, as you guys can see today we're doing an update for Panda's Eyeshadows. This past color story was fun, challenging in a way, but very successful, you guys. Very successful, not in the sense of how I wanted it to be successful, but overall it was successful, so I can't really complain too much about it. So I have my update here for you guys today, so if you're interested, stay tuned. Okay, like I mentioned, this color story was a little bit off for me this past month. I will share with you guys on the screen what it looked like. It was fun, I won't lie to you guys, and it was kind of easy. So that's my other thing, but I wish it was successful in different ways. So let's start out with the most recent one and the one shadow that I have completely failed on, but it's reality, it's the truth, and I'm gonna share it with you guys. So let's start out with Pat McGrath Venom. So I rolled in Venom. This is the Pat McGrath Midnight Sun palette, I believe, and the shade that I brought in was Venom, which was this shade right here. I have never, in all the years I've done Panda's eyeshadows, came on screen and told you guys I have used a shadow 0 times that month. This is my first time ever doing that. I've yet to touch this. I've yet to touch this shadow, but it was strategic. Because I knew the other shadows were a little bit easier to play with, a little bit more fun, I kept this one for the month of June because I knew that I can use this as a one and done shadow all over the lid or as an outer V deepening shade. So this is why I strategically didn't reach for it at all. Concentrated on the other things that I had and then moved on with my life. So this palette has not had any usage, so I'm not even going to show you what it looked like before after because there is nothing. I haven't opened it. This is my first time opening up this palette since I shared with you guys last updates. So it's a little bit embarrassing to say, but it's the truth. It's the truth. But there's a reason why I did that, and I'm not regretting it because this color is beautiful. It's one of my favorite kind of tones to use, and I'm just waiting to get a little bit darker to really enjoy and savor this shadow itself, and then the palette overall as well. So this is staying in because I have 0 uses, you guys. Absolutely 0. All right, so let's move on to our single. So we brought in the Eco Soul in the color Blue Lagoon. So I had obviously rolled this in last month, and I told you guys I was probably not gonna show you much usage. You guys can see I have used this. This was used 20 times. I used this every single time I did eye makeup as a base. I mixed it in with every color you can think of, and the beauty of this, because it has that nice sparkle and glisten, this formula reminds me of the Hourglass Scattered Eye, reminds me of the Bodyography glitter pigments that I have, reminds me of the Marc Jacobs ones, the sequence ones that he had out. Quite a few like this, and this just gives a beautiful sparkle. It is very light, but it is so nice. See like how it would look really nice with this one, but I didn't put it on with this one. Anything that I wore, I put this as a base and it gave such a beautiful sparkle. And then with certain shades, it just really made the shadow stand out. I had a lot of fun with this one. I didn't wear this one once on its own. It's just too light of a blue for me to enjoy. The only way that I would have enjoyed it is like as an inner corner and then with a deeper shade all around the lid or topped it in the center of a shadow. I would have done that, but I had so much more fun mixing. I was being a chemist. I was being an eyeshadow cocktail person. I really enjoyed this one. I will say that it's not something that I can see myself reaching for all by itself, but I will see myself reaching for this as a mixer. So that's how this one goes, because I'm not into like these kind of blues as often, but it is beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, it was beautiful. So this is getting rolled out. My MAC. This was the MAC Nude Model. I rolled in Shroom, I believe. Super easy shadow to reach for 20 times. You guys can see. I'll show you what it looked like before. You could barely see that I did crap to this, you guys. There is like nothing in here. We all know MAC shadows are impossible to pan, take centuries to use up. This, I have it today as an inner corner highlight. So it got used more than 20 times because I still continue to use it as an inner corner highlight. You guys can see it looks really beautiful. Very subtle, but impactful. Very sophisticated. I'm very content with this palette. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Really, really like this palette. Again, this is why I say MAC would be my one and done kind of brand because I can find what I need without having to break the bank. Beautiful palette. So this is getting rolled out, even though it looks like I did absolutely nothing to the shadow. I promise you guys, I used it the 20 times. Last but not least was my Natasha Denona Zendo palette. I rolled in since last update. So this is the second round this has been in. I believed I used this 6 times last update. So I had 14 uses to go this past month. And I'll show you where I was. And this is what it's looking like today after 20 uses, you guys. I do have a nice dip going in here, but it's not a pan. We all knew it wasn't gonna be a pan. This kind of color is like my thing. Do you guys remember me panning my Mally shadow stick in Topaz all last year and the year prior to that? This is that shade in a shadow. Oh my goodness, I loved it. It just brought me back to those memories. How I mainly used this was with my finger. So I used it a few times with my brush, but it was very, very diffused and light. I did film a few videos with it like that, but I preferred it with an impact. So my finger was what I used the most. And you guys can see like, there is my finger indent of where I would put my finger in here. Beautiful shade. I could live with this shade and be happy every day of my life. I just like these kind of rustic Leo kind of shades. Like these remind me of Leo. So I love them. Always loved them. They've been my thing. So this is getting rolled out because I finally got my 14 uses left on it, but still no pan. Still no pan. So as you guys can see, this is why I said this was a very successful round, but not in the way that I wanted to, because yet again, I have not hit pan on anything. These are all impossible to hit pan on. I can't win it. So we're gonna end up rolling in 1 single and 2 palettes for this round. But before I do, I wanna share with you guys the color stories we have had thus far. Okay, you guys, so we're gonna go ahead and start out with our singles. Very, very excited. So let's try this out and see what we get. L'Oreal Burst in Bloom. I believe this is one of their old infallible shadows, and I think this might be a pink one. So we are gonna go with that. Let me just screenshot it. Yes. All right, let's go to our eyeshadow palettes. And 2 palettes we're gonna go for. Menagerie Feral. Okay, my favorite Menagerie palette. And now let's go in for our last one. I am not going to hit any pan again. All right, you guys, so let me bring everything out and then we shall get to it. Alrighty, folks. So like I mentioned, I thought that this was gonna be a pink one. So here it is, L'Oreal Infallible Burst in Bloom. So this is what this one's looking like, as you guys can see here. Won't hit pan on that. I can tell you right now, I won't hit pan on that. Nope. But it is gorgeous. I remember it being very nice. So here is obviously Venom from Pat McGrath, and here is Burst in Bloom. So we have that as our single, which is perfectly fine. Then we had our palette, Menagerie Feral palette. So this one has 12 shades in here, or yeah, 14, yep. One already has a pan in it. Took me a lifetime to hit pan on that one. So since there are 12 shades, 11 are eligible. So I'm gonna just save, hit 11. We're trying our iPad today, so let's see. Number 3. Okay, so let's see. We have Wisteria, which is this shade down here. Yeah, I've used it one. Not a lot, but I have used it. Oh, that looks like a lipstick I love. Okay, guys, we're getting bright. We're getting bright and beautiful. We're getting bright and beautiful. And then, of course, we brought in the most recent and newest palette that I have in my life, basically. It's the Danessa Myricks Lightworks Volume 4. I have yet to play around with this one. I was waiting for summertime to pull this one out during my Shop My Stash. But why not? For the month of June, let's just do this. So we have, let's see, how many shades is this thing? Yes, 18 shades. So let's put in 18. This will be interesting to see. Okay, let's do. One. When? Well, you guys, that looks exactly like the shade that we had last month, which is right there. It is called Resilient. It's a soft energy kind of shade. It is identical basically to what I just rolled out. But it looks pretty with this color story now, you guys. It looks really pretty. Okay, you guys, so what do we have this month? This is actually a beautiful color story. I'm not gonna lie to you. Very, very beautiful. I will tell you that this pink shade in Wisteria is gonna be a little bit difficult because it is very, very pigmented. But I think it'll work really nice with this Burst and Bloom. This looks really, really nice. This one also looks nice with Resilient from Pat McGrath. I don't know how this month is gonna go. These are tough shades. None of these do I feel confident enough to hit pan on. I don't know why I put that rule in this year because I feel like I am not ever gonna meet it at this point. I'm just not. And there's nothing that I want or keep rolling in that is gonna allow me to hit pan in at least a 30 use, 35 use kind of goal. These are like hardcore shades to hit pan on. So I'm not even going to concentrate on that rule as much. I'm not going to put it in my head because I am already going to throw in the towel. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I'm happy to say that I'm getting use out of my higher end kind of things. Like here we go again. Something that I never rolled in. The only palette that I have rolled in this kind of set is the Feral. So Feral has been in this project pan. I have been able to hit pan, but everything else is brand new. And I really do like this color story. I'm not gonna lie. I really, really do like it. It is perfect timing. Perfect timing, very feminine-esque. And in person, it actually looks really nice. I like it. I dig it. What do you guys think? It's finally something different. Finally something nice. Finally something that I can work with. Looks really nice. So I'm excited for it. I'm actually very excited for this round. I will see what kind of color combos I will get. So we'll see. Maybe mixing some shades will come out with something fun. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will put more videos on the screen for your enjoyment. Until then.